Well, hello YouTube. Right. Things on the top of my list today. Let's see. Things that are going to come straight to mind at this particular moment are things in review, technology-wise. Well, let's see. Look at the aspects of technology these days. Tablets and more tablets. Which tablet do you choose? Tabletification? No, this is a Braun tablet or an Aldi tablet. It's not actually too bad as a sense of things. The processors that goes into these things are quite good. I mean, the technology of ARM processors and other things that are going into a lot of this technical stuff, especially your Braun type tablets and combinations of, they're quite good. I mean, they actually do a pretty damn good job. I mean, being able to check do your daily news report, check your daily news reports, do your recipes from the kitchen while you're looking on your tablet. I also would recommend, if you do shopping on your tablet, I would recommend totally and utterly, and this would be the first point of call, would be a Kaspersky mobile security system. Or, well, that's what I use, but you can use, there's a lot of different antiviruses out there, but use an antivirus on your tablet. On your tablet, and definitely use an antivirus on your phone as well. My Motorola, of course, Android. They're both Android. My Android tablet and my Android tablet and my Android phone as well. So, best and most recommended thing I would come across. These are the things I would recommend mainly. Antivirus. Pay note of what you're buying with all this technology, because I mean, once you buy it, you're buying what you got. I mean, okay, this is, for example, I know this is a dual core in this one. There's dual core in this. There's dual core on my phone. My phone's a 1.5 Snapdragon processor, I believe. Dual core. The tablet I've got here is what? It's 1.2 gigahertz. Now, memory cards. You need a memory card for these things. I got a 32 megabyte memory card on my phone, which is great for keeping music and things like that in there. I've got a 2 gigabyte memory card in my tablet, because I don't need as much substantial room, so I use my phone more than my tablet, but just in case. Recommend get memory cards, or get a memory card for your smartphone or your tablet. There's also the onboard memory, of course, but I mean, the onboard memory only does so much. I haven't really tested, per se, the Apple products as much. I could go for the iPads, but no, I'm not big on the iPads, to be truthful. I'm not big on Apple OS in general. I mean, I don't know, it's just something I am at the moment, so something I'm not necessarily going to go for straight away. I may in the future, I don't know, but it's not at the top of my list at the moment. I'm also testing some footage as well with my brand new Fujitsu film digital/XLR combo camera that I've got here, which is quite a great camera, by the way, and seems to be going pretty well so far. The stuff I've chucked at it, and focus otherwise, HD video seems to be reasonably focused and reasonably good. Anyway, while I'm here, rants and raves and raving lunatics like myself. Well, I know I'm a raving lunatic, but even if I am a raving lunatic, I do make sense at least of this all the time, and I'm pretty damn right about most things. Not everything. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I'll admit that I have my moments when I am wrong. No denying that. But I'm right about a lot of things I'm coming across these days. It's surprising. It's really scary too. Rants and raves about the way Telstra has been dealing with the fucking copper in New South Wales. That's just New South Wales we're looking at. Imagine what the rest of every other state in Australia looks like. I will include the article in the video, of course, in this video, on what the hell Telstra has done with the beautiful copper lines that give us internet and give us all this beautiful technology, or just give us internet and phone line in general. Using Coke bottles and plastic bags to repair it is not exactly professional. I would call that most unprofessional fucking conduct I've seen in my life. But apparently, according to the union of technicians, the fact that Telstra pay by per job, where on a per job basis instead of the quality of the repair in the first place. I was in there and I'm thinking to myself, okay, hold on a moment. So you're basically turning around and fucking saying to me, you're pretty much turning around and saying, hold on a moment, they've turned around and just gone, oh, well, yeah, use a Coke bottle, it's fine, it'll fix it. Even even in my hobby business, right? Even in this hobby business I have a standard of what I will and will not do. I will not duct tape something to a fucking... I'm not going to duct tape a freaking capacitor to a fucking motherboard. I mean, I'll be honest, that's pretty much what Telstra was doing. I mean, that's close to the description as what that they would actually describe that they're doing. They're sticking a fucking capacitor to a motherboard with duct tape, and that's just fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Look, in my mind, I have a certain standard of everything I do, regardless of what the hell the standard might be. I mean, look, sometimes we get lazy. But I mean, eventually I end up going back and correcting most things in most cases with some of the stuff I do. But I don't let things go to wreck and ruin. I'm sorry, but I have a standard. I have my own standards, and my standards are reasonably well off. They're not totally. They're not exponentially unforeseeable or unreal, but there's a certain standard of things that you would not do. You would not duct tape a motherboard. You would not try to solder capacitors back onto a system unless you actually felt there was a need to. I mean, okay, in some situations you might do it, but I mean, sometimes it's just easier to replace the whole damn thing than trying to freaking stick it together with duct tape or fucking Coke bottles or plastic bags, for fuck's sake. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just... it amazes me that somebody could actually do that and say that job is of a certain quality and it's actually a quality job and it's a good job. Bullshit! That's not a good job, that's a piece of shit job. Oh, for fuck's sake, really? I mean, what the hell's with that? That didn't make sense. I'm sorry, it does not make sense. It has no logic, it has no placement in the real world. You're going to do... I mean, if you're going to do a job, do a decent job. Don't do a shitty job. For fuck's sake. I mean, I don't know. Just... doesn't make sense to me. Does not make sense. Does not generally have any fortitude at all. I'm sorry. In my mind, you need to do things properly. You can't bullshit around and just push things around and basically fuck things up. It's retarded. It's just fucking retarded. It's fucking stupid. I mean, fuck me sideways. I really don't know. It's the same as coming down to people putting shit on the internet they shouldn't put on the internet. I sit there and I go, for fuck's sake, I mean, seriously. I know my limitations on what I shouldn't do and what I should do on the fucking internet. And I don't want... fuck me sideways. It just doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. It's fucked, it's retarded, and I'm just going to leave it there for that. Anyway, that was my little rant on fucking Telstra and what their services are basically doing. There's a bit of other tech coming out these days. I'm looking into... I was looking into new AMD effects processor, 5 GHz one. Looks interesting. It's not too badly priced. Originally it was going to be $800 when they first released it, but now it's actually coming down to a nice price, an even price. And it doesn't seem like a bad processor. I don't know, I may end up going for an upgrade for it or something. I may not. It just depends on my mood. Intel processors not looking too bad in the market at the moment. There's not really been any big releases lately of processors, and I mean, except for the Sandy Bridge for the last one. They have Haswell, which is the new one for Intel, which looks interesting. Haven't exactly gone into details about it. I have got a combination of Intel and AMD machines in my house. I've got the older Intel machines, the 775 socket, I believe. What else? Sort of combination. I've been mucking around with that, and I've been looking at general technology stuff. I mean, there's some interesting GPS technology coming out. There's also a new standard for your GSM mobile phones that's going to supposed to anonymize your conversations and things like that, so the NSA can't spy on you. At the same time, Obama's turned around and said he's squatting back and he's going to say that I mean, look, I'll be honest about this, all this government shit, especially when it comes to fucking NSA spying on you. I mean, not that it really bothers me, but I think it's stupid if I mean, if you got nothing to hide, you know, you're not gonna have a problem with them monitoring. But at the same time, why would you monitor somebody? I mean, I don't believe that even the NSA or even the government agencies to have 100% of the time to be able to monitor everybody in a given situation. So, I mean, you work it out. It works out in the long run that, you know, in that long run of itself, I don't think they monitor everybody all the time. I don't believe it's always. I mean, it might be for for terrorist activity. I'm not going to deny that. I have nothing wrong with people. You know, we don't want people getting blown up. We don't want violence. I mean, violence never solves. It's not a big solver of problems. Most of the time, it causes more issues than it actually fixes. Now, at the same time, I want, you know, same protection of welfare of children, protection of welfare of families, women, you know, as well. But even then, women will turn around and say that they can look after themselves. But you know, that's a whole other argument for another day. That's a battle of the sexes thing. But anyway, I mean, it's more along the lines that these days, especially, yes, monitoring is required. I do think it is a little bit required. It's not completely required, but to a certain extent it's required to some extent, because sometimes we do have people who step out on a limb or step out on a tangent and go on a mad shooting spree. But at the same time, gun control. I don't know, it's sort of a scratchy thing with me. I mean, even if Australia has gun control, I mean, we don't really have many guns unless you're a hunter or you're a copper. I mean, the average citizen per se doesn't have a gun. But at the same time, even with that, you still get gun crimes, you still get gun-related crimes, you still get people trying to shoot other people, and you still have shootouts. Probably not as many as, I mean, the thing is, it gets more accentuated in American media than it does in Australian media when somebody gets shot. And I'll be honest, that's just something that I'm seeing. If you look at, generally speaking, at the media, if you generally look at American media as a front, you know. And look, I mean, it's just my opinion, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Just give me a second. I'm going to skip over for a second. But yeah, as I was saying, honest and truthful. I've looked at it from the perspective in the long term of it, is that there's nothing wrong. I mean, I don't have anything against anybody having a gun. I mean, that's self-protection, self-preservation. There's nothing wrong about it to protect yourself. But at the same time, you don't want the guns in the wrong people's hands. And, you know, you want the guns in the hands of people who are reasonable enough to make a decision that they're not going to do something stupid and go shoot somebody in the fucking head because they feel like it. Well, I'm sorry, but somebody who just shoots somebody because they feel like it, or because they're having a particularly bad day, or they're pissed off. I mean, I understand shooting somebody because you're protecting yourself and your family, or it's self-defense. I'm not arguing that. I 100% agree with that. There's nothing wrong with self-defense. I have no problem beating the crap out of, or, you know, stabbing somebody who fucking comes into my house that isn't meant to be in there and is stealing my shit or hurting my family, regardless of whether it's my nephew, niece, or dad, or sister, or whatever. Regardless of who it is, I will protect them with my life. They are my family, they are my blood, and I'm not going to let them get hurt, you know? Now that's just as a general rule. I can understand that, but there are people who go on the unreasonable amount of just wanting to kill people randomly because they want to kill them. They just want to be a serial killer or otherwise, or they just want to totally fuck people up. And that's, you know, I mean, look, we all get pissed off, we all get angry, and it all holds on to itself. But fuck, at the end of it, you just gotta let it go, because all it's going to do is make you fucking bitter and a bit of shits, to be truthful. That's going to drive you crazy, even more crazy. If you're not already crazy, it will drive you more crazy. Even if you are crazy, it's going to drive you over the edge. But, okay, that's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't have a problem with gun control. I don't have a problem with people wanting guns at the same time. You don't want guns in the people, in unreasonable people's hands either. At the same spectrum and the other side of it, people are people. People make unreasonable... People do unreasonably stupid things. People do stupid things regardless. I mean, the human race has been notoriously bad for that. But there are some people who do honestly need to, you know, take into consideration. Well, not just take into consideration, but they... You sit there and you think to yourself, okay, hold on a second. You're making this stupid decision. Why? I mean, sometimes it's good to make an informed, intelligent decision, you know? I mean, you can blame drugs, you can blame alcohol, you can blame whatever the fuck you like for people doing the wrong thing. But at the end of it, it's a conscious decision of the person who's doing the wrong thing in the first place. It's the person who's choosing to do the wrong thing that is ultimately the person who should be responsible for it. I mean, you know, even inebriation, judgment's impaired a little bit, sure. With some people it's more impaired than others. But there's some people that obviously don't, you know, obviously, well, these people have addiction problems, whether it be a drug or whether it be something else in their life, you know? I mean, look, everybody has psychological issues. The thing is, I think most people have to work for those psychological issues, and sometimes it's good to go to a psychologist. I mean, if you're feeling really shitty and you're feeling really depressed, go to a psychologist. Nothing wrong with talking to a psychologist. At the same time, I don't know, I mean, me personally, I've come to work my own problems out over time. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking to psychologists, there's nothing wrong with, you know, doing that type of stuff, but at the same time, you've got to think, well, okay, hold on a second. But you've got to know when your thoughts are unreasonable. When you're considering killing 100 people or something like that, you've got to consider, well, okay, you know, in your own mind, like being able to rationalise something. If you can rationalise something like that, there's something seriously wrong inside your head. You can actually end up rationalising something as fucked up as that. And you need to get help. But not everybody's the same. Everybody takes everything differently. But I think at the end of it, I'm just going to make a point that, you know, shit happens, life goes on, and, you know, most of the time you just sit there and you think, well, fuck it, you know. I do the best I can with life. I do the best I can most of the time. There are also some people who obviously, you know, they can't work their psychological issues out because they're not able to function normally. They can't function on a normal level, per se. And that's okay. Not everybody can. Not everybody has that function, or not everybody has that functioning level they get to. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there for the moment. Thank you very much, YouTube. Stay tuned. Got more videos coming up on, obviously. Obviously I have. I got shitloads. I got shitloads which I'm sort of doing now in combination. So stay tuned. Please. Thank you very much. What was I going to say? Nothing wrong with that. I think I don't know. I might do some gameplay videos maybe, but I've been doing more videos where I'm just getting in front of the camera because I feel like getting in front of the camera, just ranting and raving about random shit. why the fuck not? I say it's always good to do that. It's a good release for the for the mind and the body and the mechanisms. So anyway, thank you very much. Okay.